Let me tell you, it's going to cause big problems having the TSA on the streets. Folks, you think the police get out of control? At least they have some constitutional training. When you get all these security guards and mercenaries and minions, that basically bounty hunters are more professional, it is already a nightmare. Continuing. Infowars.com speculated the purchases were being made in preparation for civil unrest. Imagining, no, I didn't imagine, we linked to government and Pentagon documents. Infowars.com speculated that the purchases were being made in preparation for civil unrest, imagining a scenario of economic collapse. Oh, we're imagining. It was only in Fox News that we linked to talking about economic collapse and every other major publication. But we imagined it. See, our articles are full of links. Our articles on average have about 15 times, I've done the math, 15 times the links of a, quote, mainstream media dinosaur publication. I mean, if we say something, we link to it. And by the way, when we see a big, fat, out-of-control government run by foreign banks raping our country and the world, we say something. When I see something, I do say something. So it goes on to say, imagining a scenario of economic collapse where censors could cause disorder. Seniors could cause disorder if denied their Social Security benefits. And that's not what we really said in the article. We said people getting denied their benefits across the board, there would be major breakdown in civil unrest, which the media admits out the other side of its mouth they're preparing for. As we said in a recent post, our office has criminal investigators, our special agents who are responsible for investigating violations of the laws that govern the SSA's programs, said the Social Security Administration. But the Social Security Administration statement posted Thursday noted that their agents need firearms and ammo in the course of training, investigations, and responding to threats against offices and employees. So there's this backdrop with people watching Fox News or people reading this where they're like, oh, that bad Alex Jones and that Infowars.com and that evil drudgereport.com. I mean, look, they just took reasonable National Weather Service and Social Security Administration, getting a little ammo mandated by law for just basic target practice and things that are mandated. And here's Alex Jones imagining the end of the world and financial crises. So the average person sitting there watching television or reading this thinks, oh, there you go again, being alarmist, when our article links to Pentagon drilling for civil unrest, mainstream news saying economic collapse on the horizon, 1.4 billion rounds, over 10 times the biggest purchase I've ever done. We had that in an article, all of it linked, and Fox News is just jealous that Infowars.com, PrisonPlanet.com, and DrudgeReport.com are, well, Drudge is getting more traffic than Fox News, and that we're starting to get up there. So you don't control the narrative anymore, okay? By the way, I've got family in the Army, the Marines, you name it. They've been doing nothing but training for civil unrest with local police all over the country. I mean, this is admitted. And if we're unable to stop this collapse and what's coming, you are going to look even stupider for making jokes about us. Now, there's the article. DHS classifies new ammo purchases following controversy. Federal agency blacks it out. See, that's the story. 1.4 billion rounds. Oh, but they're like, oh, we bought 174,000 rounds and that Infowars. And it just goes on. As concerns about the type of bullets, hollow points, which expand upon impact, the statement said the type is standard issue and being used during mandatory quarterly firearms qualifications and other training sessions. That's not true. You don't use hollow points in your qualification and your training. You use regular ball ammo because it's less expensive and doesn't jam as easy. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, found itself scrambling to respond to a similar report this week about an order for 46,000 rounds of ammo. And it just goes on. So I'm going to spare you the rest of the conspiracy theory stuff. And I, quite frankly, have only gotten to a handful of stories. There is so much to cover. You know, we've got the Justice Department shipping tens of thousands of guns and hand grenades into Mexico. But instead, the Justice Department is busy creeping around spying on Rupert Murdoch so they can blackmail his media empire into supporting gun confiscation, banning semi-autos, abortion, which they are now promoting, many of their show hosts. And here's Politico, exclusive, FBI probed GOP trip with drinking nudity in Israel. And it describes a boat out in the harbor with people swimming in their underwear or fully clothed. And they described this, and the FBI found that, no, that there wasn't anything illegal going on. Now, again, this is pure witch hunt stuff that is going on right now. Try to go after small little petty things instead of the big crimes. This is all part of the political battling that's happening. And here's what I want to get your take on. Hit the road, Barack Obama, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Newsweek cover calls our president and calls out president on failed policy and proclaims all but certain Republican victory. Appearing on the cover of Newsweek, Barack Obama looks coy, half smiling, half surprised, gracefully clutching his suit jacket snug over his shoulder. It might appear to be some sort of watch advertisement, were it not for Niall Ferguson's blasting headline, "Hit the road, Barack, why we need a new president." Now, again, Newsweek, ladies and gentlemen, a true dinosaur of deception, is only doing this because they know that they're going out of print. Because, I mean, I had a Newsweek the other day I meant to do a show on. The whole thing was pharma ads and government ads. Government taxpayer money finances it. Same thing in Time Magazine. I mean, literally, I was shocked when I was in a local business and saw it. And I asked the business owner if I could take it, and I did. So it wasn't a store. Like, it's out there somewhere. We cleaned off the table. It was the one with Queen Elizabeth on the cover. And the whole thing was big pharma or government ads. I couldn't find ads for any economy. It was just drugs and government. Taxpayer paid for propaganda. And it was all anti-family, anti-gun. I mean, it was like, it's what you'd expect with magazines in North Korea. I mean, literally, it was like I lived in an alternate dimension where there weren't regular ads and stuff. It was just a bunch of propaganda. But that's a side issue. They're falling in on themselves. They know the public has awoken to them. Fast and Furious has grievously hurt the globalists' credibility. People are now not believing anything they say. And they are hitting the panic switch. They meant Obama to be their guy, to be the savior, to be the guy that they could sell as the black Jesus. But as I said in the Obama deception 3.5 years ago, as soon as we exposed him, I predicted they would throw him out like rotten food or something out of the refrigerator. I was about to say rotten baby diapers. Whatever. The point is that that's basically what's beginning to happen, because they understand that no one is buying into him. So the power structure more and more is swinging towards Romney. And this is the word that I was getting from a lot of insiders 4 or 5 months ago. And I told you it looked like Obama was in deep trouble. Now, he may launch a big war and get elected through that. He may stage some domestic terror attacks, or his controllers will. But now, because no one would buy it, people would immediately look at his people as being the culprits, because they do like to talk. Their hubris as criminals has gotten them. They like to brag about fake bin Laden raids. They like to leak stuff about Israel. They like to leak stuff about, hey, don't worry, donors, if he's down in the polls, there's going to be a big event we're going to blame on people. Mass shootings and bombings. Yeah, it's going to be blamed on the conservatives and libertarians. I mean, what? Thank you for doing that, by the way. Thank you for thinking we're that stupid. Because when you look at somebody and go, you're really stupid, you don't see a thing I'm doing. Just sometimes you can get kind of the mind-numbed yuppies to wake up and go, what, are you making fun of me? Is something going on? I mean, you can do bad things to them, but you can't rub it in. So the prancing around and the open statements of you didn't build that, because they are in control. They're up there surrounded by yes men. They think that they can do whatever they want. And still, I'm not saying we're going to be in good shape when Romney gets in, but this shows how desperate the power structure is. That, because I mean, about a year ago, it was pretty clear Romney was going to be a ringer. I mean, the media was going to basically use him as a ringer, whether he knew he was a ringer or not. But now, Romney's actually doing things that look like he wants to win, like getting Paul Ryan. Whether you love him or hate him, it's a good move. So right now, barring a big stage war, which could happen, or big stage terror attacks, looks like Barack Obama is out.